Hey, what's up, Moongoons? This is Aaron Southworth from Horrible Horror Podcast, the podcast where we watch the worst and the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. But we're not here to talk movies. No. We are here to talk Con-tamination, coming up in St. Louis, November 4th and 5th. And I have the originator, the man behind it, Dave Dyer. Dave, how you doing?
Just fine. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Oh, thank you very much for joining us. We were at the con last year. It was a blast. It was a really good time. Thank you so much for accommodating us. We talked to you last year. You're the man with the kilt, with the fashionable mustache as well.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
It's still there, along with the hair, too.
Excellent. I love it. So this is our second time we're going to be at the con. Now, this is number 6, but how long you been doing this?
Well, we started the show in 2010, but we ended up taking a couple of years off because I had to move out of state for a job. And last year was our first year back, was a return of Con-tamination after a 2-year absence. So
now this is the sequel of the return.
This would be the sequel. This is Con-tamination Stage 6, The Mutation.
I like it. The poster's cool, too. I kind of like the Godzilla-esque kind of monster fight. It's pretty fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the kaiju is what it would like to. Yeah, that was kind of the theme I was going with it. Not that our guests reflect that, but just that every year when I design, come up with an idea for our poster, I try to have some kind of theme behind it. One year we did a grindhouse kind of theme. Another year was sort of like a space girl on a planet theme, and I think last year.
It was kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of theme.
Yeah, which fits the Con-tamination idea. I mean, last year we were going to actually do a series of movies, YouTube movies, but time ran out and money ran out. So
yeah, one of your models I think was April October, who's one of our followers on Instagram anyway. Yeah, so friend, not necessarily friend of the show, but Shay, hey, we'll take a follower. That'd be great.
I don't think she's I think she's a follower of our show, not necessarily a friend of the show. So.
All right. Well, hey, so Con-tamination number 6. Here we are. So, what do we got in store for this year?
Oh man. Well, this year we cut it down from a 3-day show to a 2-day show. So it's Saturday and Sunday, November 4th and 5th. But what we're doing is something a little different. The vendor's room is going to start on Saturday. I think the box office opens at 10, and I think our vendor room opens at 11. But what we're going to do is Friday night, the 3rd, is a free preview party and a free preview of the show at the St. Louis Airport Crowne Plaza, where we're having the convention this year. And so that free night is sort of you get a chance to see the 24-hour movie room and hang out there in the evening if you'd like, have some cocktails, just kind of get into the feel the energy of the show building itself. Also, you're going to get a sneak peek of the Con-tamination haunted house that's going to be there. That's Layers of Insanity haunted house.
That's cool.
And those will be discounted tickets for that on Friday night. So that's the first time it's ever been done, a free night, so to speak. Yeah. And the vendor's room won't be free, won't be open on Friday night, but the other stuff will be. So
this is a free night for people to come by and just check out the cool stuff that you have.
Yeah, just kind of see the props that are up, take a look at go through the haunted house, get a sneak preview of the haunted house, get a sneak preview of the 24-hour movie room. Come on in, have some drinks. Watch a movie. We want to give something back to the fans, so we're giving them a free night. And then Saturday, the whole shindig will start off at, like I said, 10 o'clock in the morning. The vendor's room will open at 11. The celebrities will be there. All, they would have by then been refreshed from their flights and ready to meet the fans. And the seminars will be on Saturday as well. And when we say a 24-hour movie room, we mean 24 hours. It means it starts at 8 o'clock on Friday night, and it doesn't end until 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon.
That's over 24 hours, Dave. But
Yeah.
I did notice that you mentioned cocktails, and you're speaking my language.
Right here. I'm right with you. Except my ice is already melted.
Oh, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking vodka and cherry limeade with a touch of coconut juice on it.
Ooh, I like the little. It's a 3-piece. I see.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm not. I love that stuff too. But today I'm going kind of hair on the chest. It's just whiskey on the rocks.
I've got a big bottle of Jim Beam in the other room.
That's what I'm drinking too. Attaboy.
Well, you know what? You and I will have some bourbon at the show. That I promise you. So
that sounds good, and I hope a lot of people we're a national podcast. We've been plugging it on our show, saying please come in if you're not from St. Louis. And it's awesome that you have the free stuff going on too, because St. Louis is kind of known for free amenities. We have a lot of the zoo is free, world class art museum free, world class history museum is free. We have some cool stuff, and now we have a free little nugget from Con-tamination for you too.
Yeah, Friday night is free. Come on up, everybody. Start your party early. So just because we're just doing the show Saturday and Sunday officially doesn't mean you can't start partying Friday night. There should be some room parties going on. Like I said, the bar will be hopping. The 24-hour movie room is going to be rocking all night long. So get your game on, start the party early, and then everybody have a lot of fun on Saturday and Sunday, of course, and then just spread that word, because we've got some killer celebs coming this year.
Who you got lined up there, bud?
Oh, man. Well, right off the bat, we've got, which I'm excited about, we've got Ann Robinson. Now, Ann is the surviving member of the original War of the Worlds 1958 movie, H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
So we're talking 1958.
Yeah.
The original film, War of the Worlds, not the Tom Cruise shit.
Not the Tom Cruise shit or the TV show shit. We're talking about the 1958 H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and she is the original lady from the film. She's the main star of the film. This sweet woman is 88 years old. It is her first time ever in St. Louis.
Wow.
So this is an extreme treat to the true science fiction fan out there. My God, I mean, I grew up on that movie, and it's still in my top 10 favorite sci-fi movies of all time. Dave,
I grew up on that movie as well. I used to watch it on Betamax with my parents when I was a kid. Yeah, I remember that one very well. It's pretty incredible because it's kind of funny to say, but it's literally like a piece of film history that you get a chance to meet.
It's true science fiction film noir, and I mean, it is the fact that she is willing to come to St. Louis. She has been out of the show circuit for a while. We are the first show on her docket for the year, and we're totally thrilled about it. I had the pleasure of speaking with her the other day, and she is an absolute joy. We are going to do a special screening of the 1958 War of the Worlds.
Nice.
And she is going to sort of be the intro. She's going to do a little Q&A before the showing of it and answer some questions, and then we're going to show the movie. So, I mean, that's a real treat right there. So,
that's
fantastic.
That's really cool. Okay, what else you got lined up, bud?
All right. For the American Horror Story fans, and I think we all are, we have got Naomi Grossman, who is best known as playing the Pinhead Pepper in American Horror Story Asylum and Freak Show.
Yeah.
And so we're really, really thrilled to have her. She's also in a couple of up-and-coming films, one called Sky Sharks and another one called The Accidental Zombie. Those will be coming out next year, so she just wrapped up on those. So we're excited to have her. We're going to probably be showing one of the American Horror Story episodes, and Naomi will do a little intro to that as well. See, this is what I love about our show, is that I get the celebrities to do little intros and little Q&As before the show. A lot of people will wait afterward. I think it's really cool to have them do it before, because then you go in with a totally fresh perspective of watching the movie or the episode or whatever, because they've told you a little funny anecdote about that or something.
Yeah, it's kind of a chance. It's almost like watching the I guess the extras or the director's point of view on a DVD or Blu-ray, but before you kind of have an idea what to look for,
Yeah, and it's a great analogy to it.
Oh, I forgot the name of the gal last year. She was in House of a Thousand. No, pardon me, Devil's Rejects. She was at last year's Con-tamination. She was in the Police Academy movies. I forget the actress's name.
Yeah, that was oh hell.
Yeah,
she played Mother. She played Mother Firefly, and oh jeez.
Yeah, terrible. I feel horrible too. Yeah. Well, hey man, we've been drinking. It's okay. But
that is in all my shows roll into other shows. It is, and oh god, she was a sweetheart too. Hold on.
But she got a chance to set up the scenes and talk about scenes and how difficult it was and how she was working with the character Otis on the film and how she had to do this. She did this weird tongue thing and it just came inspirational. Ron Zabi loved it. They kept it in there. So it was just little treats like that you necessarily don't hear on the commentary either. You get a little bit of extra if you really want that extra little feel, true fandom. It's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and that's what I'd love to do. It's going to come back to me, and we'll talk about her. But yeah, I love it when they do that because, like I said, you go in with a whole fresh perspective. It's like watching it for the first time, and then you look for those little tidbits that they tell you about. So it's all, like I said, it's like watching the movie with a commentary over it. Now, I have done that in the past where I actually sat down with Denise Crosby at a show and that I hosted at, and we watched the what was it called? Not the Exterminators, but the Expendables or one she did from the early '80s, and she did a total voiceover on it and told us little bits and pieces about it when she was doing it, and it was so cool to do that. So, we also have Felix Silla coming to the show.
No, that's the Ewok.
Yeah, he was one of the Ewoks. He was the one that steals
Wicket, right? I think it was Wicket.
No, it wasn't Wicket. Wicket was Little Warwick Davis.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Felix was the one, the Ewok who steals Speeder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Swine through the forest, right. So, that was him. He was also Cousin It in the original Addams Family.
Ah. Yeah. That's a big one for the horror fans.
Yes, it is. For the sci-fi fans, he was Tweaky in the Buck Rogers TV show. So that's totally my era right there. And for the ones who go way back, he was in the actual pilot episode of Star Trek, the original Star Trek.
Oh, so, yeah, the one with the big brains?
Yeah, he was one of the brain ones.
Wow. Yeah.
And he also played in the original Planet of the Apes, the 1968 Planet of the Apes film with Charlton Heston. He was the little gorilla boy who, when Charlton Heston is running through the lawmakers area, and they're doing their speeches there. It's like a church set up, and then the little boy comes around and goes, "Look, a man." that was Felix Silla. So I mean, the guy has done everything
over the generations too.
Yeah, multiple generations. We all grew up watching Felix Silla in some shape, way, or form.
Yeah,
as one of his. I mean, he's created indelible characters that have been around forever. So, and it cracks me up. The Star Wars fans out there, my God, they know the Ewoks' names, and I'm like, it just is nuts because on the original picture, I put Wicket in there. It's a fucking Ewok, man.
Right.
Right. And oh my God, it wasn't even up for 15 minutes, and people are going, "What's Wicket doing in there? Who the fuck is Wicket?"
Hey, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I remembered that one because that was the quote unquote main Ewok. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the only reasons I actually know that is because Marshall is way more of a Star Wars fan, and he would be quick to jump down my throat. It's a good thing he's not here right now, else we'd be talking about it for way too long. Who else we got on the docket?
It cracks me up because I've seen the movie, like everybody, 100 times, and nowhere in there did they name one fucking Ewok.
Right.
But apparently the top 3, including Felix Silla, they have names. So go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. Going down our list, we've got Don the Dragon Wilson.
Dude, okay, I am so pumped about this one. When we were setting up, I'm just letting everybody know. When we were setting up, you sent over a picture on an email just of the newest poster, and I was kind of looking at it. And I've looked at it before, a week or two ago when we started plugging the show, and I'm like, hold on. I'm looking at it on my phone. So it's this tiny picture. I'm like, what's going on? It's just that... Is that Don the Dragon Wilson? Nah, that can't be Don the Dragon Wilson. I open up, I check out Con-tamination's website again, which is what's the website they can check it out at?
At con-tamination.com.
So you go to con-tamination.com and you will see that Don the motherfucking Dragon Wilson is going to be in house, and I'm so pumped about this.
I am too. Now he's 11-time U.S. champion, kickboxing champion. Did you know that?
I did know that. I also know that the Blood Fist movies are fucking awesome.
My favorite is Future Kick.
Yes.
Come on.
That's the one where he looks like he's the Terminator.
It does, and we're going to show it, and we're going to have Don talk about it.
Yes.
I cannot wait on that one.
Yes. Another one, it's like, I actually have these like weird little moments of Don the Dragon Wilson in my life. Like, I was homesick from school. I had like a broken arm, and I was at home for 2 days. On ESPN2 in like 1990, they had this like Shotokan karate tournament, and he was doing the play-by-play. He was like one of the announcers, and so for 2 days, I watched this tournament with Don the Dragon Wilson calling it. And
wow,
I loved it. And he also did UFC, like one of the very early UFCs. He called. Yeah. He was one of the commentators on one of the very early UFCs, which also I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, he's the real fucking deal.
Yeah,
where like a Seagal, those guys were movie stars. Don the Dragon, 11-time American kickboxing champion, has overseen MMA. All and still viable to this day, and that some kick-ass.
He's 63 years old. He could turn me into mush, I'm sure.
Oh my God. He still teaches martial arts and kickboxing around the world. Currently, he is in Italy filming his new film. I mean, the guy doesn't stop.
And from what I understand, he's also in the European Kickboxing Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So, and if people, again, this is a horror movie like podcast, but I'm going to nerd out a little bit on martial arts. And Europe is absolutely obsessed with kickboxing, especially the Dutch, the French, and it's huge over there. So to be in their Hall of Fame is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. The guy is like I said, the real fucking deal, man. He knows his stuff, and I can't. And then he was in one superhero film. He was in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
So, he played the weird Dayglow gangster or gang. What were they? I can't even remember the scene, but they were the gang that was held up inside the one building.
Was this like the Riddler's gang?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this the one with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, that's the one with Jim Carrey as Riddler and Tommy Lee as Two-Face. And Don the Dragon had this weird like Day of the Dead kind of face paint on, where had the teeth went across the face.
That's right.
White. Yeah, it was all this Dayglow shit on there. And they had the gang that was fighting Robin, I think, on the street or something. I don't remember. Those were shitty films. So. Sorry, they were. I'm a huge Batman film, and Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are just tough to get through.
The last time I saw that movie was I was in Mexico with food poisoning, and my wife was like, "Do you want to watch some movies?" And it was on, and it was in Spanish, and I just watched it, kind of like it made me feel better. I was like, as I'm like shitting myself to death, but. And it was a while ago. That was like in 2011. So it's been a while since I've seen it.
That's fucking great, man. Oh my God, I almost spit my drink out of my nose.
So who else we got?
Oh man, this one is cool. They're all cool so far.
Yeah.
We got George P. Wilbur, who was the stuntman and Michael Myers in Halloween 4. He did the stunts for Halloween 5, and he was also Michael Myers in Halloween 6.
So he was the Shape.
He was the Shape. Yeah, absolutely.
Now that's going to be a huge one for Marshall. Marshall is an absolute nutcase when it comes to the Halloween franchise. He is going to be gushing with excitement. The way I'm gushing about Down the Dragon Wilson, he's going to be gushing over here.
Yeah, we originally had a really cool little Halloween reunion. We originally had George. We had Christina Klebb from Rob Zombie's Halloween. And we also Pamela Susan Shoop, who was the nurse in Halloween 2 with the beautiful boobs, who gets her face dunked into the
hot tub or into the steaming hot water. Yeah.
And unfortunately, Christina Klebb ended up getting a gig and is filming that weekend. And Susan Shoop had a family emergency, personal problems. And so my little Halloween reunion just fell apart. But we still have George. He's dying, no pun intended, but he's dying to see his St. Louis fans. He's excited to be coming. And that guy, man, he's done everything. He's been in Dr. Giggles. He's been in Monster. He did the stunts for Monster Squad.
Again, one of my favorites.
Mars Attacks. The guy's done a lot of stuff, man. I mean, but most of all, he's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And he's been Michael Myers more than just about anybody else, because he was Michael Myers in 4. He did the stunts for Michael Myers in 5. And then he was Michael Myers again in 6. So the guy knows his shit. You know?
I guess I'm kind of curious, and I hope someone can let us know. Is he the quintessential, the longest running Michael Myers? Kind of like Kane Hodder is the longest running Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm going to have to say, yeah, he is. Yeah, and it is a good question. We'll have to pose that to him. You know.
Yeah.
So, I know we're going to show something, and George is going to be talking. I think we're going to be showing, if I have it my way, and this all, once again, when I say showing this, it's all going to be in the 24-hour movie room. So you're going to have to pick your poison, or you're going to be living in the 24-hour movie room. But I think what we're going to be showing is I have a special bootleg version of Halloween 666. The producer's cut.
Whoa.
It's never been released.
Whoa.
It's not available in stores. It's not available on Amazon. I have a copy of it, and it is the original producer's version of the film. It actually makes much more sense than the theatrical version of Halloween 6, which was the origin, I think I called it, or the curse, or I can't remember what it was. But this is Halloween 666, and it makes a lot more sense to it. And George is, of course, Michael in that, so it's really cool.
You heard it here first, Moongoons. Halloween 666 is going to be playing at the 24-hour movie room at Con-tamination in St. Louis, November 4th and 5th. George P. Wilbur will be there.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty bitchin'. So
I think so. We're going to have him talk about it. So moving on, we've got another stuntman actor. This will be his first convention showing ever.
So we're popping cherries.
We're popping cherries here.
All right.
We're popping his cherries, and we're popping all the fans' cherries. We've got stuntman actor Glenn Ennis. Now, Glenn was Jason Voorhees in Freddy vs. Jason. He did all the stunts for Jason Voorhees in that. He did the big, when coming out of the cornfield and the Hoosier boy sets him on fire.
Yeah.
That whole thing where he's just like on fire, just hacking the shit out of everybody. That's Glenn Ennis.
Full body burn.
Full body burn.
Full body burn. Yeah.
Head to toe. So, and then not only that, Glenn was also Colossus in Deadpool. So
love that movie. Movie.
Yeah, he did all the stunts for Colossus. He was also one of the main. I don't know. I'm not a Warcraft person, but he was in the Warcraft movie.
Okay.
He was Creature with the Tusks. the guard guy.
Marshall would know this, and he'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, it's an orc." I'm guessing orc. I don't know. Yeah.
So, and then on top of it, Glenn Ennis was also the bear in the movie The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
Yeah. So
we have the bear from The Revenant.
He was the bear. So they're like, no, it was a real bear. I'm like, yes, it was a real bear on the scene where the bear is coming up, and when the bear attacks Leonardo and he's fighting the bear off, that is Glenn Ennis in a blue screen suit with a bear head, a blue screen bear head on his head, like a helmet, and it's all CGI, and he's the one attacking Leonardo. So,
dude, you should plug that. We have the bear from The Revenant. That's
awesome.
It's
really cool. So this is Glenn's first show ever. So for the completist, for the Friday the 13th completist, this is the autograph you've been waiting for, right here, right now. So
give him some love, St. Louis.
What's that?
Give him some love.
Oh yeah, please. And then just to get a little old school 80s, early 90s, let's get a little toxic since we are Con-tamination. We've got John Altamura, the Toxic Avenger.
We got Toxie.
Yep, we got Toxie himself from Toxic Avenger Part 2 and 3. So he is the longest running Toxic Avenger. So,
nice.
Yeah. So I'm stoked about that because I'm an old Troma film nerd. I remember when the first Toxic Avenger came out, and I was managing a video store back in the 80s, and I would get all my friends together, I'd have a party, and I showed them the first Toxic Avenger, and I thought it was it's so whacked, it's so out there,
ridiculous, over the top, good time,
over the top humor,
great time,
titties, everything.
Yeah.
So when I had a chance to get John, I'm like, I gotta get this, just for myself, if nothing else. But
this is like a selfish pick almost.
It is, but it's also cool because we're Con-tamination. So what better than to have the Toxic Avenger at Con-tamination?
Absolutely. And I'm looking at this picture of John Altamura right now, and he's a handsome fella.
He is.
He's a good looking guy. You had to put him underneath Toxie's mutated face.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have a movie. You wouldn't have a movie otherwise. This guy is hot.
For all the chicks out there, I'm telling you, man, the chicks got Glenn Ennis and John Altamura. Those are some good-looking, handsome, big dudes.
Yeah.
So the girls are gonna love that,
Well, it looks like we have something next for the fellas. So what do we got next?
Yeah. Next, we got Deborah Estelle Phillips. Now, she was the Yellow Ranger in Power Rangers Time Force, which is very cool. Very cool. This year marks the 30th or 35th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So
it can't be the 35th because I'm 38 years old and I was in.
All right, so it's got to be the 30th then. So
but it was. I remember. I remember when it came out, and I was a little too old for it, but at the same time, I was like, "All right, it's kind of fun," and I still had a good time. But it's been around forever.
It has.
It's been around so long, and I can't believe how long it's been around and how many different, I guess, morphs, if you will, that there have been. It's pretty incredible.
It's still going. I mean, the Saban company, the people who brought it here to America, that guy has made a fortune off of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I can't imagine how much money that guy has.
He's got, and it's so funny because I've heard all kinds of rumors and read stories about it. I mean, you got to remember that it all started in Japan, so it was a different show in Japan, and when it was brought over here, he hired the actors to do the bits where they're not in the outfits. And then when the outfits came on, that's actually scenery from these Japanese shows. So those actors, our American actors, are not in those outfits. So as much as I want to tell you that Deborah Estelle Phillips is actually the Yellow Power Ranger, that is the most flat-chested yellow Power Ranger I've ever seen. So, but it's cool, except for when you get to the new movie, those actors actually were, in the suits. So, but the guy took an idea. My brother he's a sound editor in California, and he's currently the sound editor for NCIS Los Angeles, and has done that since it started. And that's the one that's got Robin in it from Batman and Robin film.
Oh, yeah.
Chris O'Donnell and LL Cool J. But back in the day, he did the sound for the first 3 episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I remember him calling me and going, Dave, he goes, I'm working on this shit show. It is terrible. It's a waste of money, the waste of my time, but you'd probably like it. And he told me, and I go, dude, mark my words, that show is going to take off and be a mega buck winner. And he goes, you're full of shit. I go, nope, mark my words, man. That thing is going to take off. And it did.
Yeah.
My brother called me up like halfway through the season. He had already moved on to something else. And he was like, boy, well, you were right, man. I said, of course it was. I go, it was prime time for that show to strike. And it's no different than I grew up on Ultraman and Johnny Sacco and the Flying Robot.
Right.
So, I mean, it just was the new version of all that. And look at it. We just came out with a new movie last year for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. My wife and I loved it. And our daughters loved it. So,
still going strong.
It's timeless. It's timeless. So the one last person, and it's not on your slide, because we just dropped it last night.
Oh, shit.
We've got Mark Dodson coming. Mark is a voice actor, and he is Salacious Crumb, the little creature that Jabba Hutt has in between his legs.
Whoa, yes!
Yeah, from Return of the Jedi. So, and he's also the voices of all the Mogwais in Gremlins 1 and 2.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's voiced some Ewoks from everything from the Ewoks TV show to the movies that they did, Return of the Jedi. And then he's also been...
So wait a minute. You're telling me Felix Silla didn't do his own voice acting?
I want to know how they mic'd that if he did. And then he was also zombie voices in George Romero's Day of the Dead. So
you have a incredibly influential voice actor who has been doing work in Return of the Jedi, Gremlins 2, as well as Day of the Dead. So you have all the pop culture that I loved, as well as the horror. George Romero fans could get on this as well.
Yeah, that's what we do, man. That's what's cool about Con-tamination. We're the St. Louis premier horror, sci-fi, and pop culture convention. There is a little bit of everything for everybody. We're not like any other show.
I cannot wait to meet Mark Dodson, honestly. And I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but I've been known to make a few funny songs here and there, a couple of voices. I'm just kind of curious how he got into the business.
Well, this would be great. We've never had a voice actor per se at our show.
And this is something you can't take a picture of. This is something you can't, read about. You have to go and experience it. You have to go and hear the Mogwai, hear the Gremlins, hear the effects. This is something that's very cool, very unique. But you have to go. You have to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's if I was let's say if I had a Return of the Jedi poster, I would want Felix Silla and Mark Dodson on there. If I had a Gremlins poster, I would want that. When I found out what he does, or I also would, Salacious Crumb, I hate that little fucking thing, but whatever. But you know what? You don't forget about that little thing. Whenever you say Salacious Crumb, the little creature sitting in Jabba's lap going, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, and I also loved it how he was like watching Jabba's tail wiggle, like, it's like right? In that sleepy, weird scene. Yeah. I'm like, it's a creepy little thing.
So it was really cool that Mark came on board, and He's not on our slide because we had already gone to print with the slide, but we're happy to be able to grab him and add him at the tail end here. That's the one. Like I said, it's funny, man. I get these emails or get these things on our Facebook page at Con-tamination St. Louis Facebook. If your listeners are not fans and friends of the page, like it, because it's everything contaminated that you want to know about is there. But I get these douchebags that will write and go, you need to get like Robert Englund. No, I don't need to get Robert Englund. You can go to any other show and go see Robert Englund.
Right.
Okay. Nice guy. 30,000 plus guarantee. Okay. You can go to Indiana and go see him. You can go to Chicago and go see him. You can go to any of these shows and go see the same people over and over again. I work hard to come up with something different and unique with Con-tamination. Things that you wouldn't think about, And all of a sudden here we got Ann Robinson, from the original War of the Worlds. I don't just play with one genre. I play with a bunch of genres, and I don't play with one time period. I play with different time periods. So it encompasses everything. I try to bring something in for a 16-year-old. So we got Naomi Grossman from American Horror Story. My daughter's 15. Can't wait to meet her because she's an American Horror Story fan. All the way up to people in my age, which is 50-something, who grew up with War of the Worlds or the horror fan who, like I said, is a completist, needs a Jason Voorhees and a Michael Myers autograph.
Right.
Here you go, man. Here you go. So, so go to those other shows. Please go to those shows if you want to see the same celebrities over and over again. You want something fresh and different and unique, you come to our show.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, because I check out on our Instagram a lot of posts about, I met Robert Englund for the 5th time. I met Kane Hodder for the 12th time. I've met Tom Savini for the 30th time. You know, it's like, I get it. But this is a unique experience to meet some new faces who also contributed so much to, one, the horror genre, the sci-fi genre. We're even going as far as martial arts. I mean, that's, oh my God, that's pretty badass.
And pop, I did an interview with Umsel newspaper for our show. And the guy goes, so what part of it is pop culture? And I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, well, Halloween really isn't pop culture. I said, Halloween is nothing but pop culture.
Absolutely.
Everybody, Michael Myers is almost a household name at this point.
If you say the name Michael Myers, they know exactly who it is. If you say the name Jason Voorhees, they know exactly who it is. Right. If you say the name Wicket, I know who it was.
I'm not going to go that far.
But I'm just saying.
I'll say the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
He actually goes, well, what about Toxic Avenger? I said, okay, let's talk about Toxic Avenger. It has 5 movies. It had its own Saturday morning cartoon.
On Fox.
Had its own fucking toy line. Now you tell me that's not pop culture.
Absolutely.
And he goes, you're right, it's pop culture. I said, damn right it is.
Perfect. Dave, I love it. All right, so check it out. We're going to go to Con-tamination November 4th and 5th in November. It's going to be the weekend after Halloween.
Which is what better way to celebrate fucking Halloween than come to our show, okay? Crown Plaza, St. Louis Airport Crown Plaza. Beautiful, beautiful hotel. We're going to have we'll have the movie schedule up soon on the website. We will also have the seminars up as well. You couldn't come in costume. We got a cosplay.
You do, yeah. That's something we've been talking about on our show. We just started plugging it. You guys are going to be having a cosplay or costume. It's a contest, right?
Yeah, it come dressed up. You can win some great money. Also,
money. So money's involved.
There's some money. Monkeys holding money.
Monkey money. Okay.
Monkey money. Yeah, you can win some great prizes. Not only that, look, we're going to give out door prizes too. So you come dressed up, man. All of a sudden, we could grab you walking into the dealer's room. You might be in the vendor's room, and all of a sudden somebody grab you and gives you a gift because they liked you. It may be a rubber chicken, but that's pretty fucking cool. I want a rubber chicken.
Absolutely. You know? But hey, I also like money.
Money's cool. So absolutely. So our major contest will be cash prizes. So
okay.
It'll be very cool.
All right.
Very cool. Got some great vendors coming. I want everybody to come out, spread the word. Look, we're only as good as our fans are. So if you don't tell your friend doesn't tell a friend, and so on and so forth, we got to get people through that door. We want you. Look, more bang for your buck. Our prices, oh my God, forget Comic-Con. You want to go pay $80 for a weekend pass? Go to Comic-Con. You want to come to us? A weekend pass is $30 fucking dollars.
$30.
$30 for 2 days.
$30 for 2 days.
Amazing. And remember, Friday night's free. So, you know,
boom.
All you got to do is buy your booze and have a good time.
$30 for essentially 3 days. And
yeah,
again, we've been telling our listeners also come to check it out because if you're not from St. Louis especially, fly in, check it out. It's right by the hotel. I mean, it's by the airport. So get a room, hang out, party. You know, when the con is down, go check out the city, but come back for more. I mean, it'll be a great time.
It really will. I mean, we enjoy doing this for the fans. It's a lot of work. We love our fans. We love you guys. You guys were a hoot last year.
Oh yeah, we had a blast. We had a blast.
I've never seen anybody have as much fun as you guys did. You guys were, every time I walked by the table, you were smiling so much. You were enjoying every minute. It's guys like you that keep the energy. And that's the one thing that I love. I've gone to so many shows because I've been a vendor. My wife and I have been vendors at other shows. We just went to one out in Urbana that was, wow. It was, you know, there was just no energy.
Yeah.
And the thing is our show, I feel, always has a lot of extremely good energy.
Mm-hmm.
And people like you and other vendors just really add to it. And then you get the celebrities behind it. And, you know, it's game on, man. It's game on.
It's a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, November 4th and November 5th at the Crown Plaza Hotel right by the airport in St. Louis, Missouri. Guys, fly in, check it out. I already told people who have come in and they talk to us, we've heard about the show. We're going to get drunk. We're going to buy some beers. We're going to have a good time.
Me too.
All right. Is there anything else you want to let us know, man? I think we covered just about all of it. I'm pretty
about everything. Go to our website, con-tamination.com. You can Google us. We'll be the first thing that will pop up. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/ContaminationSTL. Other than that, get your asses there. Come dressed up. Have a good time. Spread the word. We're going to be happy to see everybody there. And stop me. Say hi to me. I'd love to shake your hand.
Will you be wearing the kilt this year?
I always wear the kilt.
Yes.
Always.
So you will know who Dave is by the kilt and the awesome mustache and the awesome hair.
Very cool. Also, we'll have our merch booth will be up, so you can get yourself the new Contamination T-shirt, or for $5 you can buy back ear T-shirts. I mean,
they're cool T-shirts too. I remember looking at them, and they're pretty badass.
Yeah. They're this year we'll have that great Kaju poster on it.
I do like to think of myself as a connoisseur of T-shirts. I've got way too many. My wife is kind of sick of it, but I'm looking forward to that.
Good deal. So, well, we appreciate it, and like I said, let's rock on. Let's have a good time. 3 weeks, November 4th and 5th, and then of course the 3rd is that free party.
Free party is the best kind of party. All right. Thank you so much, Dave. And again, listen up, Moongoons. You can always check us out at horriblehorrorpodcast.com. You can listen to us on iTunes, listen to us on Podbean, listen to us on Google Play, and again, at our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. If you want to get a hold of us and see what we're doing, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Instagram, and on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at SoBadIt'sScary. Thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
We will see you at the con.